This Bleach controversy has gotten very nasty. You have The Verge talking about it, and you have a bunch of news outlets talking about it, Reddit's talking about it, obviously Twitter's talking about it. You have huge YouTubers now talking about it and kind of weighing in, major voice actors in the industry talking about it. It has gotten very out of hand, and let's just dive headfirst into this. What's going on? Why is there controversy around the voice actor of Yoruichi, or two voice actors technically? Why is Bleach having a controversy? Who's at fault? What really happened, etc. Let's just dive headfirst into all this and explain what is actually happening. So basically, around earlier this month, on October 7th, 2023, it was announced that this individual right here would be doing the English voice of Yoruichi in Bleach The Thousand Year Blood War. Now, for clarification, this is not the original voice actress of Yoruichi that voiced Yoruichi for 15 plus years. It is a completely new voice actress. And when this news first broke, people were like probably thinking to themselves, maybe the original VA probably stepped down or whatever and, just didn't want to reprise her role. Makes sense. So they obviously had to recast and have a new person to start to voice Yoruichi. And FYI, there was one episode that came out where she already voiced the character, and she already has pre-recorded all of her lines for any scenes that Yoruichi has already been in for the English dub. So fast forward after this, basically it was announced that she would be stepping down and she would no longer be voicing Yoruichi in Bleach. And basically the reason for this is because after this was found out that, the English voice actor was, replaced with this individual, fans got very upset. They reacted, they commented and talked to Viz, like, hey, we want our original VA. Basically, it caused this individual to lose her role as Yoruichi, and so she had to step down. And so Wendy here, which is, the actual original voice actress, she, now took the role. She now had her original Yoruichi voice actress role back. Now, her overall reaction to being replaced, what this picture kind of paints on surface level, that she is a sore loser, a bad person, a mean person, and anyone that was anywhere happy with this voice actress getting the role of Yoruichi, she was commenting on it and being very negative, etc. And so it didn't really paint a good image for her. She definitely, at first glance, if you just look at this entire story, she just seems like completely 100% in the wrong. Now, I'm not saying that she should have done this. She 100% could have behaved better, not lashed out like she did, but at the end of the day, she is human. I'm not trying to defend her. I'm not. I'm just saying that at the end of the day, she is human, and people do react with negativity and anger, malice, etc. when things happen. And let's talk about what actually happened. Why did she react like this? Well, from everything I can kind of gather and what I could get from Reddit posts, etc., things on Twitter, and what I could dig up in news articles, it seems like the voice actress of the recasting of Yoruichi was not really notified to Viz, or maybe some people at Viz knew, not all of them knew, and it seems like the voice actress, like Wendy, the original Yoruichi voice actor, probably was not aware she was getting, replaced until probably last minute, and then obviously she started reacting in a very negative way towards people, because it's like, imagine losing your role that you've been voicing this character for 15 years, and you just lose it to someone. It's just like, what? Why would you do this? Why would you do that? And then you have, this individual come in, and nothing against her, she probably is an amazing voice actress. I've yet to watch this episode of Bleach for the English dub, but, you have someone that just basically takes your job from you, and it's just like, whoa, what? I've been voicing this character for 15 years. Why? I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't say anything bad or negative. I mean, obviously, now technically she's responded in a negative way, but this happened because it's like, what did she do? Why did she get replaced, so to speak? So she obviously had a backlash, she lashed out, so to speak. Not backlash, but lashed out. So once again, I'm not defending her actions, but the origin story of it is that it's very clear that she was not aware she got replaced until last moment, and then the new voice actress basically was just replaced instantly as well. And so you can kind of see what's going on here, is that these VAs literally just got replaced, insta-replaced again, and it's like, what the hell? That's really just huge whiplash back and forth between these two VAs, and, it's like these two VAs just had a lot of mud just slung on them, because now this entire controversy has kind of sunk into more of a politically motivated argument, and more of people saying that it's an agenda pushing, and This is a landmine conversation, but I'm someone that will call things out like it is, and I know for a fact people are going to twist my words, etc., regardless of whatever I say, but I'm going to say it. I'm going to try to word this as best I can. But basically, it's very clear that there was potentially some form of politically motivated stunt going on here, judging by just, when you look at, who took over the role from Wendy to voice Yoruichi, and then, how it, she was instantly replaced again. It's turned into more a thing about only people of color can voice people of color characters. That's basically the argument that's being made here. And, I'm not throwing any shade here at ProZD or anything, but basically, he made 2 different posts about this subject. He talked about how, he got an audition for a cartoon where he was sent an Asian character to voice act. And looking through the rest, I told my agent, hey, I'm happy to read for this, but can I read for some of these others? To which I was told all these characters are drawn as white, so no. And then if you go to his post on the whole controversy with Wendy's reaction, like her negative reaction to, basically getting her role back or getting replaced, etc., ProZD is like, oh, the recast was already unacceptable, but this is just the yikes on top. And the way this paints it is that, ProZD thinks it was fine for Wendy to be replaced without even being told, asked, etc., with just someone, and it seems, once again, I'm not saying that she's, has no talents or anything, she's probably an amazing voice actress, but it's very clear that the people up high was doing this for pure, I guess, politically motivated reasons. And so, once again, you can see where this is just really spiraled out of control. And so, I find it interesting that ProZD, he talks about this. He talks about how it's a yikes and all that, that basically Wendy took the role from her. But it's like, you complain about the very thing that just happened. That you're basically being told that you can only voice Asian characters because you're Asian, which is really messed up. And so, I'm about to do a hot take. And I know for a fact I'm going to get a lot of heat for this one. I'm going to assume that this is a hot take, but I'm just going to say it like it is. 100% just going to keep it 100% real. That I think, personally, it's inherently racist to force voice actors to only voice people of color. Like, if they're a person of color and they're forced to only voice a person of color, I think that's racist. I think that voice actors should be chosen for a role because of their voice, not because they're a person of color. I think that it limits people and it makes everything just even more segregated and racist. Like this right here, ProZD even talking about this, it basically shows kind of it's segregating voice actors. Like, oh, because you're Asian, you can only voice Asian characters. Because you are, a person of color, you can only voice people of color characters. If you're white, you can only voice white characters. I'm like, no. I think everybody should be able to have any role they want as long as if their voice fits. You do a little audition for the role, there you go. I think that inherently this entire debacle is very racist, and companies recasting people because they're a person of color, I think just, once again, it makes the issue even worse. And I think that this is a very bad thing to do for companies to do this, because it limits roles of voice actors where they can't actually do a bunch of different characters. Once again, ProZD talks about this. He even mentioned that he already had this done to him, but then obviously he's complaining about, like, oh, someone got replaced and all that, taking it away from a person of color. So it's just, this one's a yikes. I don't want to dive too deep into that, because I like ProZD. He's a good man. Like, he legit makes some amazing content. I love his videos, etc. But, this one is a little bit of an L with just him talking about this after saying this, and, the tweet is deleted. But, anyways, back to the point, though. So, overall, the whole controversy that is going on stems from a company making decisions and removing someone from a role because of an agenda. That's it. That's literally what it comes down to. Now, we don't know necessarily if Viz really didn't know or not, but at the end of the day, they are the company. They're the company that hires this. They're the ones above everyone, and this Studio Paulus apparently is too. They're the ones really responsible here, and most of these individuals that are part of these companies have been very silent, while these 2 VAs now have mud completely slung on their career. Because let's look at this of what's going to happen now. Wendy is always going to be looked at as a very sore loser, someone that might even be maybe racist. People will label her racist now because of taking her role back as Yoruichi, and then you're going to have people that's going to be going after her saying, oh, you only got your role because you're a person of color. That's what people are going to say, and that's a real yikes. That's a yikes, because she's talented. Definitely talented, but once again, because companies doing these decisions, it's bad. It paints it in a very, very bad light, and it just makes it more racist than them trying to say they're trying to, fight racism. That's what's going on here. I think segregating VAs and stuff is just not a good idea by any means. I just don't. But I'll drop it at that. Once again, I've been navigating through the minefield. I know for a fact that I'm not perfect, but I say it like it is. And I think that this whole controversy is absolutely nuts. I think that it's sad to see a VA that, was really excited for the role just get forced out of it because, there was just some complete miscommunication with the higher-ups like Viz and Studio Paulus. I feel really bad for her because she already voiced her lines. But at the same time, you got Wendy that also had her role basically taken from her as well. So it's just like, it's bad. It's just bad overall. It's a mess. It's a huge mess here. There's no real right answer here besides the companies on top made a huge yikes. And they're the ones that really should take responsibility and not try to throw politics and agenda in an anime. And inherently, if we're even wanting to get into this, okay, like if we're really wanting to dive into VAs, at the end of the day, anime is from Japan, and most of these characters, let's keep it real, they're Asian. So basically, what's being said here is that the only people that, at least the company's trying to say, is that the only people that should be able to voice these characters in English is Asians. That's what they're basically saying, which is just already crazy in of itself, but I'm not going to go too deeper into that rabbit hole. But I'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for watching. Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think this controversy is crazy? But be safe, stay healthy. Chibi out.